darlings. Welcome to Peri, Lyons, New York City celebrity psychic. And I sort of feel like I should be doing true crime as well. That's such a big thing. So it's like, today I'm going to tell your fortune and talk about a true crime that happened maybe next time. So I'm so glad you're here. Thank you for being here, my cherished ducklings. And boy, there was a full moon the day before yesterday and yesterday in Scorpio that just about, whew, that was a tough full moon. I mean, that was a full moon that like came in, set the couch on fire, held your dog hostage, and like, ate all your Oreos. Woo! It was like that for me. I don't know. Did you guys have a rough Scorpio full moon? It really, if you had a rough couple of days and you didn't know there was a full moon, now you know why. Hooray! Okay. And we're going to start out, as we always do, with the tarot weather for this week. And we're going to operate on the kind of Jungian assumption that synchronicity is created when people all concentrate on, this is kind of sort of a Jungian thing. Just bear with me. I know there's a bear with you? Where? So Jung said, it's Carl Gustav Jung, who was a very famous sort of Freudian, until he became a Jungian, psychologist, psychiatrist at the turn of the century. Synchronicity was something that he noticed, which is that when you're kind of in the groove, you'll notice that there are a lot of confirmatory coincidences. Like you'll see, well, for today, I was preparing for the program and I was meditating. And for some reason, the 19th century lawman Wyatt Earp kept coming up in my conscious, around me. I randomly turned on the TV and there was something about Wyatt Earp. I picked up a book to put it away. There was something about Wyatt Earp. Don't ask me why, but I'm telling you why. If you have a day or a time that you keep seeing sort of the same really random, unasked for and inexplicable thing come up over and over again, like Wyatt Earp or like ducklings or Sweden, something like that. It's actually a signal from either your unconscious or the mass unconscious of the universe, whatever you want to say, that you're kind of on the right path. I call them confirmatory coincidences when I work with people. And so, coming back to the main, in a roundabout way, to the main thing here, when you have an impulse to turn on the TV, like Jessica in Tuba City, Arizona, just did, and I'm very glad she's here. Hi, Jessica. Hang out a couple minutes. Hi. I'm going to do the psychic weather, the tarot weather. I'm just explaining what the principle is. So when you have an impulse to turn on the TV, and for instance, there I am. Hi. It's not a coincidence. I'm not going to say everything happens for a reason, because when people say that to me, especially when I'm in a bad mood, I sort of reach for my machete. But I will say that meaningful coincidences are meaningful. So if you're watching this, I'm coming all the way back to the beginning here. If you're watching this, the cards I will be drawing in the next couple of minutes, which is 3 tarot cards, have to do with you. They just do. That's how it works. Yay! Okay, so I'm going to draw 3 cards, and this is what's going on with you in your personal life and your profoundly deep life. And also, because this is how things work, it's going to be what's going on around you in your circumstances. It's a mystery. Okay, ready? And the first card is, the Hierophant. Hierophant card is, to me, it's about rules, institutions. You're not going to be put in an institution, just so you know. When I get the Hierophant card, it means that conforming to the rules of society at the moment is a good idea. Like for instance, this week, but want to pretend to look respectable. I don't mean it that way, but I do mean if this is a week that you have to do something like I don't know, pay your taxes or talk to an employee or an employer. Make sure that you kind of know what the ground rules of the game are. So if you're talking to an employer, for instance, maybe you're having a semi-annual review. You're not going to talk about how the Mets are doing. I don't even know if are people playing baseball right now? That's how non-sports I am. Sorry. You're going to talk to him or her or them in their own language. You're going to talk to them in the rules of the job, within the rules of the job that you are in and that you want to get a raise at. Does that make sense? Am I making sense here? So, while I'm all for originality and I'm all for being yourself, there are also times that it's good to know what the rules of the game that you're playing and want to win are. This is one of those weeks. So, hope that helped. Yeah. All right. This is a fascinating card. This is from a deck. This is from an antique deck from like the 80s. This talks about the south node of astrology. But we do have a Pluto retrograde that just started happening. And this is kind of about that. This card is about remembering. It's about when we have Pluto retrograde, old issues from the past are coming up to be healed. I'm sorry, this is driving me crazy. There. Hello. So when old issues come up to be healed, it's a time to really change your life. So if, for instance, you're feeling like, oh, it's all too much, you now have a chance to figure out how it cannot be so much, how you can make yourself into kind of this self-made new superhero of your own. So, for instance, here, hold on, I'll be right back. All right, my sister sent me this. Here it is. Sometimes when I'm trying to reset my day, or I want to just make sure that my day is going to go how I want, I will use this and I will write like, scene 1, take 1. Peri has her best day ever on the top, right? Right now this is Happy Birthday Jemima, because a friend of mine who's a really fabulous TV star had her birthday the other day and I was making video for her. But I would recommend something like this, where you just make your own life a movie that you live in and that you're directing and that you wrote and you're starring in. And that's what this suggests. So anything that comes up from the past that you don't think you can handle, come up with a creative way to just say, I'm going to be handling this, which you are. And that's that. Okay, darling, I'll be right with you. Ready? The last card has to do with somebody. I think this is for you people who are looking for a romantic partner. This is somebody who has the King of Swords energy. And the King of Swords energy is a man, or it can be a woman, or it can be somebody who does not gender identify. This is somebody who has an enormous capacity to really see the truth and speak the truth. Very, very intelligent person. Very, very just wonderful to exchange ideas with. Also, if you're thinking about hiring a lawyer to take care of some of these old issues that are coming up, it's a great time to, find a really good lawyer. This is somebody who has a lot of penetrative, like really, really insightful intelligence. Also, this could be a part of you that you're finding within yourself. So, to sum up, it's going to be a terrific week for facing old issues in your life, reframing them in a way that empowers you, and either finding that person in you who's so intelligent, so incisive, and really knows the answer, or finding and hiring one, or meeting one romantically. So thank you for listening. Hope that helped. And Jessica in Tuba City, are you still there, my angel?
Yeah.
Thank you. Thank you for being so patient. How are you?
Yeah. I'm doing good.
Okay. Moderately good. And I'm going to ask you to tell me what your birthday is, just the day and date, not the, you don't have to tell me the year, but that's how I connect with people. So what is
Um,
your birthday?
April 27th.
April, I'm sorry, what?
April 27th.
Oh, hello, little Taurus, and happy birthday yesterday.
Yeah,
Hi.
thank you.
Wow. You're just a spring chicken, trust me. And how can I help? What's your question?
I guess with my relationship and I guess what's going to happen through this from this time to my future next year.
Okay, first let's focus on your relationship because we want to
Yeah,
sort of
that's fine.
focusing helps. Okay. Yeah, I could see why you'd ask this because there has been some kind of, it's not exactly conflict, but you guys have been kind of, I don't know, what's the word I'm looking for? I don't know, maybe arguing a little more than usual. Is that correct?
Yes,
Yeah, I'm sorry about that.
true.
You can partially blame the Scorpio full moon for that, if you'd like. Feel free. Um, and I think you're waiting for. Do you mind if I'm just going to say a man because you have kind of a het vibe to you. I think you're waiting for him to change before you change, and I do. Who doesn't do this, really, right?
Yeah,
But
yeah, that's true.
I think rather than expecting him to change right now, because I know from my own experience, and I know from working with 1,000 clients literally over the last few years, that if we predicate, if we make our own life about waiting for the other person to change so we can be happy, we're going to be waiting a while. I know in my own life, I've done that. And it's time that I've regretted. So it feels like there's a couple of issues that you're just stuck on with him. There's some sort of issue that has to do, I'm not going to say AA, that kind of issue, but I'm not going to not. Also, there's an issue with like his a past relationship or past family things. Is that correct?
Yeah, it's more of like
Yeah.
my past relationship.
Yeah. I would say, since it feels like what I want to empower you, right? And I'd love to tell you like, oh, everything's going to be fine, and it will be because this is somebody. When's his birthday? What's his sign?
His is March 24th. He's an Aries.
Oh yeah, fabulous. They're so easy to change. Sorry, but you're wanting him to be, and I'm in no way invalidating you. I'm just saying that. Are you married? I don't feel like you're married.
No, we're not married. Just together.
I'm not saying get married. I'm just saying that it feels like you've been in this relationship for a while. Is that correct?
Yeah.
Yeah. And it feels like you want him to be more of the Knight of Pentacles, right? You want him to be more stable, to be more responsible, to be more forthcoming towards you, and to stop messing around, basically. And I can totally see why you'd want that. But if he doesn't change, what happens?
I just, feel like how my old relationship was. Just have to leave and let them realize themselves that they have to change themselves and not me.
What's the common denominator in your old relationship and this relationship? Who's the person who's been in both of those?
The dominator, did you say?
Got a common denominator. What I'm saying is maybe you have a chance to change how you are in relationships. I'm not letting him off the hook, not at all, because he hasn't been like who I'd like him to be and who you'd like him to be. But sometimes we can have more power in relationship than we think. And I think that perhaps there might be a chance here because you've got the Fool card. The Fool card is doing something differently. It's starting a new journey in your life. And after that, you have the Lover's card. So I think this relationship really does have a chance. I really do. I think that you might want to stop wanting him to change and start, and also maybe stop, I think, concentrating more on what you want in your life. That makes sense? I do think that this
Yeah.
relationship is going to work out, but I think that you have, and as I said earlier, as you heard, Pluto, retrograde right now, gives us this amazing opportunity. We're not going to have again for like years and years and years to look at what we're doing in our lives or what happens in our lives that hasn't been working for us and how to change that with ourselves. So, also, he's a lovely guy. He's kind of a doofus in a nice way. Men are just doofuses. We expect them to know what they're doing, and half the time they're just kind of making it up like everybody else. So I do think this is going to work out for you. And I think maybe start looking at whether sometimes you can be a little, how can I put this? Just bring your energy back to yourself. And you have a lot of talent and you have a lot of potential. You've already accomplished a lot. I know that. And I think you and he are a good fit. But I would get used to the fact that you're kind of the smarter one in this relationship, right? And you're kind of,
Yeah.
and you kind of run the relationship. You do. So I would just take responsibility for that, own that, and don't expect him to change and just go do what you want to do in this relationship. Okay? That makes sense?
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
It does.
It's going to work out, and empower yourself. And if even doing something like finding a meditation practice, even finding if you want to go to couples therapy, sometimes that works. But this has been such a hard time for relationships, such a hard time. You have done a great job. You have really been there for him. Now it's time for you to be there for you. All right?
Yeah. I think so too.
Yeah. You're very smart. You're very talented. You run this relationship, own it, and get what you want from it. Okay? All
Okay.
right, love. Take care. Bye.
Thank you.
Hi. Thank you for being on Peri Lyons, New York City celebrity psychic. I am here patiently awaiting calls. I'm so grateful to be on Moonstruck TV. We're on live, as you know, because the alternative is kind of gruesome. And we're in New Zealand, Australia, all of Canada, all of the US, probably Jupiter. All of the UK too. So today we've got another caller waiting, but I'd like to talk about what we just talked about with the last caller, who is just a wonderful person, and thank you for being on the show. Truly. Sorry. I am. We've got Nicole in East Moline, Illinois. I just wanted to say that today seems to be very much about empowering ourselves. Sorry, my producer just put on the screen. Yes, we're huge in Jupiter, huge. So what I'd like to say to everybody today is that we all have something amazing to give the world. We all do. You and you and the person sitting next to you. And I think, especially with women right now, we're so taking care of everybody because this has been such a hard time that we're forgetting to take care of ourselves. And it's almost scary to stop and take a deep breath and think about what we need and who we are. But I just want to give everybody out there who's listening, here's an invisible permission slip. Got it? You have an invisible permission slip that will allow you to take a moment. You can say no to people. No, I'm not going to take care of that for you. Sorry. I'm busy. I have my own stuff to do. So anyway, Nicole, thank you for waiting, my love. How can I help you?
Hi. I was just going just for a reading.
You know what? Speak up a tiny bit. I can't hear you. Yeah?
I was calling for a reading.
Good. That's what I do. What would you
Awesome.
like to know?
Oh gosh.
I don't do mediumship work right now, and I don't find lost people. Tell you what, let's do this.
Okay.
Let's find.
Okay. So pretty much, where do you see me in the near future? I've been going through
That's
a
a
lot
great
lately, and
I think one reading you're asking, one reason, rewind. One reason you're asking that is because this card came up first. So you're feeling a little stuck, right? Is that true?
a little bit.
Yeah, I think we all are. How can we not? And I'm feeling like my hair is being like weird. Okay, thank you. So, this is where you've been. This is a kind of feeling like, what am I doing next? What is going on here? And in the past, actually, this is what I'm going to say. This is a wonderful card from the best deck in the world. It's also transparent, so I'm going to hold it up a bit. I didn't expect to. This is, I'm looking, just trust me, it's a great card. This is the World card, the one I just held up.
Okay.
The World card is when someone, in this case you, Nicole, is looking for where you know you're going in this life. Is you know that you have kind of a destiny to do something only you can do in a way only you can do it, right? And that's what you want.
Right.
You want to be self-expressed. There's a real restlessness and a real drive in you to be self-expressed. Is that correct?
Yes.
Yeah. And there should be, because you are an unusual person with a lot of creativity, a lot of drive. Oh, I said drive, but I'm going to say it again. You have a lot of drive. And you also are feeling a little pinned down by the people and the sort of circumstances around you. Is that correct?
Yeah.
Yeah. In your present job, wait, do you have a present job? Hold on. Yeah, you do. In your present job, you're feeling like you are not living up to your potential and that you're not appreciated. Now, your present job is someplace that you could actually move forward in, but you tend to hold yourself back a little because you have kind of a lovely reserve and a lovely modesty. And I wish more people had that, but it's not serving you at the time. Is there somebody in your job right now, at the workplace that you've been at, who has a job that you'd really like, or a position that you'd really like?
Well, I'm actually a foster parent.
I'm sorry, one more time?
I'm actually a foster parent. So that is my job.
Oh, I saw you with a lot of kids. Okay, you know what? That didn't occur to me as a job. I know people who do that, but I was seeing you at a computer. Excuse me, you're a foster parent. That's an incredibly hard and beautiful thing to do. I think you're burnt out. Is that correct?
I'm sorry?
I think you're burnt out. Is that correct?
Yes. I'm
You're
tired.
feeling a little burnt out. I just got a new microphone. So is that correct?
Yes.
Okay. I'm sorry, that didn't occur to me as a job. I saw you with a lot of children, but it seems to me that what you want is something that's more manageable. And I love that you've been taking care of foster children, but I also think that there's a time in one's life when one needs to pull back from something a bit. And I think that children, especially foster children, can seem unmanageable. And I think you love these kids very much, but you need to have
She's
your
my
own
granddaughter.
space a bit. What?
She's actually my granddaughter that I foster.
Okay. I'm sorry, this is
There's a
more
lot
of a
going
personal
on.
life thing rather than a career thing. So that's where I see you in, let's say 6 months from now. I see you being the star card. And again, this is I didn't know I was going to pull this, but the star card, I see you spending more time doing things that are fun for you. I love that you're taking care of your granddaughter. Again, I'm going to say that that's for me not a work thing. It's a family thing. So I'm sorry, I was a little focused on the other. I see you having more fun here. It looks to me like you're going to be getting an influx of some money and some support here. She's a beautiful little girl. You could even do a little child modeling with her now that things are opening up. But I see you like 6 months from now being much more, you have a little more space for yourself. Turn one of your closets into a little studio for yourself or a little office. You're feeling a little put upon and a little taken for granted.